Hey you guys, I wanted to share with you some tips I learned about dealing with anxiety. I'm taking this free webinar as part of my ongoing training to be a better coach. I don't have anxiety, but I do sometimes get triggered by certain things, and I think these are good tips for everyone. So, first of all, is to notice that anxiety is not a mental thing, it's a physical thing, that you're feeling anxious because your body is sensing a state of stress, and that so many people don't even know that they're anxious, especially people who grew up in homes where they felt very unsafe as children, that they were constantly in this fight mode and flight mode, and so it's normal, so they don't even know what feeling calm and peaceful is like. And then later on in life, they start having all these pains because being in this constant fight or flight state is actually creates inflammation in the body and leads to all kinds of diseases. The gentleman giving this talk today is Dr. David Hanscom, an orthopedic surgeon who stopped doing spinal fusion surgery because he said there's only a 25% success rate, and most of it is caused by inflammation, anxiety, and stress in the body. And how he healed his own anxiety because he grew up in a home where he was constantly under stress, and his body just broke down. He had his first panic attack, I think, in his 40s or 50s, because he was working all the time and not even noticing he was anxious. So here are some tips. I'm just going to, you can get his book, Back in Control, or Do You Really Need Spinal Surgery? But since anxiety is a physical thing, you can lower your anxiety level by just bringing your body into a safe space. Just try this anyway, because some of us might not even realize that we're in a hyper or anxious state because it's just all we know. And how much calmer can we feel? Because this anxiety can cause bipolar, which is an inflammatory metabolic disorder, schizophrenia, chronic pain, Alzheimer's, high cholesterol, all these chronic pain. These are all your body's responses to being in a constant fight or flight mode because it wears down your immune system. Okay, so here we go. First of all, there are things you can do physically that stimulate the vagus nerve that makes your body feel calmer. One is breathing. I know we've talked about this before. You want to do slow breathing of 6 to 7 breaths per minute. Just slow breathing. And you do not need money and you do not need time. You can do this in the shower. You can do this when you're driving. This is free. Just slow breathing. The other thing is humming. You're stimulating your 7th cranial nerve, which stimulates the vagus nerve, which is calming. Another one is rubbing the forehead. Apparently that's calming. Or scratching your forehead. That stimulates the 5th cranial nerve. Again, these are physical ways of calming your body down. He also talks about inputs to our nervous system. So the number one is sleep, because when you're sleeping, your body is doing its most intensive repair, and most people don't get enough sleep. It's one thing I've been working on myself. Actually, the last 2 nights I did so much better because sleep rebuilds everything and relaxes the body. The body is not in a fight or flight mode when it's sleeping. Also, exercise is anti-inflammatory, and a healthy diet of unprocessed foods and sleep. These are all anti-inflammatory. And so he also talks about how talk therapy alone does not work. People can go to therapy for years and years and they're just talking. We know now a lot more about making the body feel safe and somatic exercises, which is one thing I do in my coaching, is the somatic exercises and being in the body. But there's another lady I watch on YouTube, the Crappy Childhood Fairy, and she talks a lot about how talk therapy for years, it just made her feel worse every time because she was rehashing everything. And so what really helped her a lot was doing this writing. Every morning and afternoon she does this writing where she lights all of her fears and resentments, and then she does a transcendental meditation practice. And she has what's called chronic PTSD from a very abusive childhood. So I'm going to get back to the writing in a moment. The other input to calm your nervous system is mindfulness, is to like take a deep breath, drop your shoulders, and just see and feel your surroundings, like get into your senses. Hear the sounds, feel your feet on the floor. It's like get into your body. Now, he also talks about cognitive behavioral therapy and how some people say it doesn't work for anxiety or chronic pain, but indeed it does, because you can change your cognitive distortions. See, a lot of times people have cognitive distortions that cause anxiety. What do I mean by cognitive distortions? Dr. Hanscom lists the following: perfectionism, labeling, minimizing the positive, maximizing the negative, and mind reading. So people can create their own anxiety through their cognitive distortions. Now, he says there have been 1,200 research papers written on the power of expressive writing to change your obsessive thought patterns. A lot of times people have these obsessive negative thoughts and they keep trying to push them away, but we know whatever you resist persists, whether it's a feeling or a thought. So trying to push it away actually makes it stronger. Your conscious mind doesn't want it, but it stays stronger. So what do? Okay, you write down your thoughts just freely, just write them all down. I'm worthless, I'm lonely, no one will ever want me, I don't even know why I'm alive, whatever you want to write. And then you tear it up. Tear up the paper. And what that does, it lets you write freely because it's not going to stick around. And by tearing it up, you're separating yourself from your thoughts. So you're writing out your thoughts and then you're tearing up the paper. Also, trying to be happy actually makes you become sad. You don't have to try to be happy. This Dr. Hanscom said that after 6 months of expressive writing, his OCD was gone. He had 17 symptoms of OCD. They were gone. And apparently OCD is really hard to treat. So you want to calm down your nervous system. You want to do expressive writing. And you want to take good care of yourself. And fortunately now we know a lot more about anxiety. I guess anxiety is very prevalent these days. And, I'm going to do these things too because I'm always trying to grow. And like he said, we might have anxiety and not even know it. I hope you liked my self-help thing for today. Dr. Hanscom's book is Back in Control. I'll show you a screenshot. There it is. That's one of his books. Here's the other book, Do You Really Need Spine Surgery? David Hanscom. Thank you for watching my video. If you want to do any coaching with me, please get a hold of me. I am thinking of doing something where I'm going to be offering coaching for lower income people, Saturday mornings from 9 to 12 Pacific Standard Time. It'll just be like $5 or $10 instead of $100 for, and it'll be just during those times, only by Zoom, not in my home office, because there are a lot of people who can't afford this kind of help, and I want to get more practice so I can grow this part of my business, because I love this stuff and I find it so fascinating, like drug-free approaches to mental health and helping people feel better, because I feel like super blessed that my life is easy and I don't have these issues. I probably have other issues. I'm working on this stuff myself. So thank you for watching my video.